What's the one thing women crave more than anything else? Well, here's what happened when my friend Devin went out on the street to find out.
We're going to just go around basically and talk to a bunch of beautiful women, the kind of women that you guys want to meet, and we're going to find out what they're looking for in a guy.
Funny.
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 Humor.
A sense of humor.
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor. Sense of humor.
Have to be funny.
Makes me laugh, that's it.
You're funny. You could get chicks.
You're funny. You can get chicks. It's really that simple. Marilyn Monroe said, if you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything. And by make her do anything, she didn't mean making her paint your apartment. She meant you can make her do anything in bed. This is a powerful statement from the most desired woman of her time. It would be the same as Scarlett Johansson, Megan Fox, or Jessica Biel saying it today. Because even women that in demand literally lose control around a guy who makes them laugh. So why does humor have such a powerful effect over women? It's because the right kind of humor simultaneously does three things. 1, it gets a woman's attention. If you want to meet a girl, you first need to get her attention, and humor is hands down the best way to do that. After all, she can't reject you if you're making her laugh. Number 2, it makes her feel powerful emotions. Women don't choose guys who are the most logical choice for them. They choose guys who make them feel good. And making a girl laugh makes her feel amazing. Number 3, it conveys all the right things about you. A guy with a great sense of humor comes across relaxed, confident, intelligent, and, if done in the right way, challenging, which women love. It's no secret that all women say they want a guy with a great sense of humor, but have you ever noticed that most comedians aren't exactly Don Juans? You see, most guys make the mistake of thinking women will respond to just any old type of humor. So they try their hardest to crack jokes whenever she's around. They search their minds frantically for the next witty comment in every conversation. They try to predict what she thinks will be funny and cater their jokes to her. And they'll do anything for a laugh, thinking the more jokes they get in, the better. But sadly, not only are these strategies unnecessary, they actually hurt your chances with women. They make you appear needy and desperate for her attention and approval, just like a clown. And you don't exactly see women pushing each other out of the way to be with Bozo. Because the truth is, not all types of humor are attractive to women. The reason why so many comedians do so poorly with women is that most comedians use the wrong type of humor. When you use the right type of humor, women will respond to you entirely differently. They'll try to impress you. They'll compete over you. They'll even get addicted to you. I'll tell you how in just a minute. This is what Marilyn was talking about when she said, if you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything. And you're about to discover how to use the right type of humor to turn any woman on, lower her defenses, and make her see you as the sexual and romantic fantasy she's previously only dreamed about. You're also going to learn a rejection-proof way to start conversations with any woman, no matter how hot, by getting her laughing right off the bat before she even has time to think of rejecting you. How to joke around with a girl in a way most guys wouldn't even think of, making you stand out above every man she's ever met. And how to use humor to exploit a hidden glitch in the female brain that causes women to project attractive traits onto you. And if a girl you like sees you as just a friend, you're going to learn how to get her laughing in a way that changes her perception of you, so she sees you in a whole new light. I'm also going to share with you the biggest mistake most guys make when trying to be funny, which causes their humor to backfire and ruin their chances with women. And the easy 3-step formula for creating humor in any situation. Warning: I and my close circle of friends have been using the techniques in this video for the past 3 years to give us a competitive edge over other guys. We figured it was time to share the wealth, but we don't want these secrets to become too popular and dilute their power. After all, it's not an advantage if everyone has it. So we decided the only way to keep these techniques from getting overused was to limit the number of guys who could see this video in each region. If you watch this entire video, you'll be one of the few men who will ever know these secrets. But if you choose to leave this page, I can't guarantee you'll be able to see it in the future. When enough guys in your region have seen this video, it'll no longer be available. So watch it now while you have the chance, because at any moment, it could be gone for good. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's get right into it. When it comes to women, all humor falls into one of two categories. There's the type of humor that turns women on, and the type of humor that turns them off. To understand the difference, take a look at the following two comedic actors, Vince Vaughn and Rob Schneider. Which one of these guys does better with women? Vince Vaughn is known for being good with women and has dated some of the most desired women in the world. Rob Schneider, on the other hand, isn't really known as a sex symbol. Ask most girls if they'd like to sleep with Rob Schneider, and they'll think you're joking. Why? They're both wealthy and successful. Vince Vaughn isn't any better looking. Not anymore, anyway. And they're both funny. So why is Vince Vaughn considered sexy while Rob Schneider isn't? It's because Vince Vaughn uses a kind of humor that projects confidence and sex appeal, and Rob Schneider uses a kind of humor that projects goofiness and insecurity. Vince Vaughn knows a secret that very few men know. He knows that when done right, humor doesn't just make women laugh, it turns them on as well. Because the way you joke around with a woman is a big indication of what kind of guy you are. A guy who's confident, relaxed, and desirable jokes around in a very different way than a guy who's nervous, insecure, and needy. And by imitating the type of humor that confident, high-status guys use, you can project those qualities of confidence and sex appeal that drive women wild. And women will have no choice but to get turned on and become attracted to you. It's like always having your finger on a woman's remote control ignition button, so you can turn her on command wherever and whenever you want, whether you just met her or you've known her for years. I call the attractive type of humor that guys like Vince Vaughn use high-status humor. You'll see why in just a minute. It's the kind of effortless humor guys who dominate with women have been using for years to steal the hottest girls right from under other guys' noses. Since it's easy to come up with in any situation, high-status humor always comes across effortless and spontaneous. And though she may not have a name for it, when a woman says she wants a guy with a great sense of humor, it's high-status humor that she's talking about. Because only high-status humor makes her feel those powerful emotions of attraction that even she can't explain. My name's Zach Broman. When I discovered high-status humor 3 years ago, I went from not being noticed at all to dating the kind of women most guys only dream about. And though I was excited about the results I was getting, I was a little concerned. See, I noticed some unusual reactions in the women I used it with. And my suspicions were confirmed in 2010 when the results of a 3-year study involving over 1,000 women were published by Dr. David Buss and Dr. Cindy Meston. The study was published under the title, Why Women Have Sex, and it provides a unique window on what's going on inside a woman's mind and why women choose to sleep with the guys that they do. These scientists found that humor is such a strong determinant of who a woman has sex with, they dedicated a whole section to it. One woman says, I had this boyfriend who wasn't terribly attractive, but he could make me laugh just by looking at me. He had an incredible sense of humor that turned me on completely. At some point he cheated, broke my heart, and I ended it. Several years later, we eventually did date again, but that magic was no longer there. But that didn't keep me from wanting him sexually. He was still incredibly funny. So here we have a guy who wasn't terribly attractive, cheated on her, broke her heart, and whom she dumped, and she still couldn't help going back to him for sex, all because of his sense of humor. Do you see what's happening here? The right kind of humor can cause a woman to become irrational and completely overlook your flaws. And my first concern was that the wrong type of guy could misuse these techniques to take advantage of women, even if he didn't have much to offer. But that wasn't my only concern. My biggest concern was that when a guy uses high-status humor, women become addicted to him. And when I use the word addicted, I mean it literally, as you'll see in a second. Another woman in the study said, I had sex with someone who had a great sense of humor. All of those good feelings from all the laughter led me to feeling good with him in other aspects. Sex was just an extension of that. So here we have a woman who's feeling so good from all the laughter, those feelings start to turn her on. How does this get her addicted? When you simultaneously make a woman laugh and turn her on, you're making her feel powerful emotions. And it's these emotions she gets addicted to. You've probably heard of a series of experiments by a scientist named Pavlov. He rang a bell every time he fed his dogs, and pretty soon, just the sound of the bell made them drool with hunger. The bell was linked to food, so just hearing it triggered those feelings of hunger. This is exactly what happens when you give a woman these powerful feelings. She starts to link those feelings with you, and you become the trigger for them. So the feelings come flooding back whenever she sees you, hears your voice, smells you, or feels your touch. Feelings are nothing other than powerful chemicals in her brain and body. And after a short time, if she doesn't get them, she'll go into withdrawal. So pretty soon, she'll start hungering for your presence when you're not around. She'll crave your company, the sound of your voice, and your touch, just like a drug addict craves his drug. So you can see when I use the word addicted, I mean it. That's why I want to warn you not to abuse this knowledge. Use it to make women feel amazing, not to get them hooked on you just to misuse them. If you can't promise me that you'll use these techniques responsibly, then I want you to stop watching this video right now. But if you are ready for the responsibility that comes with this kind of power, then you'll want to keep watching. Because I'm about to reveal the system that makes it easy for any man to use high-status humor to attract the kind of women he really wants. So you don't have to settle for girls you're not interested in, or worse yet, no one at all. I call it the high-status humor system. It's been my secret weapon when it comes to attracting the hottest women for years, and I and the handful of guys I've taught it to have used it to meet and date literally hundreds of women. This system is for guys looking to turn a friend into a girlfriend or a friend with benefits, guys who want a rejection-proof way to approach a woman by making her laugh within seconds of saying hello, guys who want to make sure their current girlfriend stays attracted to them and isn't sneaking around behind their back. In short, this system is designed for anyone who wants a competitive edge over every other guy, even if you've never thought of yourself as naturally funny. Because anyone can learn to be funny. In fact, once you understand how humor works, it becomes the easiest thing in the world. You see, a few years ago, I decided to make learning to be funny a priority. I was hopeless with women, and I figured the best way I could really stand out and date the girls I really wanted was to work on my sense of humor. I wasn't the least funny person I knew, but I also wasn't the funniest. I could sometimes make my friends laugh, and my mom, but my sense of humor would abandon me when I needed it most. Whenever I was talking to a girl I really liked, my mind would just go blank, or my jokes would come out sounding stupid or try hard. I bought every product on comedy I could find, but none of them helped. The programs were all focused on comedy writing, which involved creating setups and punchlines. It was a lot of work and totally useless for being funny in regular conversation. The people I knew who were naturally funny never told jokes. They just reacted to what was going on around them in a funny way. So I started to watch naturally funny people. I looked for patterns in the way they joked around, and what I discovered astonished me. It seemed there was a formula for how these people generated humor. I broke down the formula and found there are just 3 things that all naturally funny people do that allow them to be on all the time. I call them the 3 keys to comedy. Key number 1, observation. The first thing that distinguishes funny people from everyone else is they know how to recognize the humor that's all around them. Comedians like Jerry Seinfeld have made entire careers out of pointing out things we all see every day. We just didn't recognize the humor in them. But when you know what to look for, you can't help seeing comedic opportunities everywhere. In the High Status Humor program, I'm going to show you the 3 questions to ask in any situation that will reveal the gold mine of humor all around you. You'll notice the comedic opportunities that have been right in front of your nose. And your jokes will always come across spontaneous rather than pre-planned, which is a key part of making sure your humor comes across high status. Key number 2, the formulas. Observations can be funny in and of themselves, but how you express them amplifies the laughs and the attraction a woman feels for you. There are just 4 simple formulas for turning an observation into a high-impact one-liner. Just plug in your observation, and the formula takes care of the rest. And in the High Status Humor program, I take you through each one of these simple formulas in detail, along with the most common situations you can apply them in. Key number 3, delivery. You've probably heard before that comedy is all in the delivery. And while the content of what you say is important, your delivery can make all the difference whether your joke's followed by laughter or awkward silence. Why do you think some comedians are cast in one movie after another? They don't come up with their own lines. It's their delivery which makes it funny. But has anyone ever broken down for you what good delivery looks like? Me neither. So I decided to do exactly that. I watched the best comedians and guys who were naturally funny and noticed some simple differences in facial expressions and body language between guys who were consistently funny and those that weren't. And when I made these slight adjustments to my own delivery, I was cracking people up like never before. The differences were so small and easy to change, I merely needed to become aware of them to experience their powerful effects. So the 3 keys to comedy are: 1, observation, learn to recognize the opportunities for humor all around you; 2, formulas, use the comedic formulas to craft funny comments; and 3, delivery, use high-status body language to make sure your jokes are hilarious every single time. Once you have those 3 things down, you'll have the power to make people laugh at any time and in any situation. And when you combine those 3 keys with high status, you'll have a combination so powerful, one guy I taught it to called it the shock and awe of attracting women. Because it does so many powerful things all at once, women become overwhelmed with excitement, and you can have your pick of whatever girl you want. So if you aren't using humor to attract the girls you want, if you can't think of funny things to say on the spot when you finally have an opportunity to talk to that cute girl who's exactly your type, if you've tried to be funny with a girl you like and it's come out awkward and embarrassing, and especially if you've made a girl laugh only to make your move and find out that she doesn't see you that way, then you need to stop what you've been doing right now and try something different. Because all this time, you've been fighting with one arm and one leg tied behind your back. And it doesn't have to be this way. Ever since I accidentally discovered high status humor 3 years ago, I haven't had to worry that I won't have something to say when talking to a hot girl. I haven't felt anxiety approaching a girl no matter how hot she was, because I knew I had a secret weapon that would set me apart from every guy she's ever met. Eventually, I ended up in an amazing relationship with a woman I would have picked out of a catalog. I couldn't be happier. And I want the same for you. You might want to get married. Perhaps you'd like to get a girlfriend. Maybe you want more sex with hotter women. Or maybe you just want to know that you can handle any situation with women, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Whatever you want, it all comes down to having choice and control over your dating life. Because when you know you have the power to choose the women you want and don't have to settle for second best, you experience a sense of unimaginable freedom. You radiate confidence, and your life improves not just with women, but with your friends, your family, and even at work and in business. High status humor gives you that choice and freedom with women. That's why I'm inviting you to join me for the High Status Humor program. It's a series of training videos in a secure members area you can go through from the comfort of your own home right on your computer's browser. You'll also get an audio download of each lesson so you can listen in your car, at the gym, or drifting off to sleep to make sure the information really sinks in. You'll learn a joke to use with a girl you hardly know that will instantly make her feel a strong connection like she's known you forever. An easy first date technique that shows that you're a selective, in-demand guy and make sure she's the one trying to impress you. How to answer the most common questions in an unexpected way that makes you look like the most confident man she's ever met. How to use sexual humor to set a flirty tone and get her all hot and bothered. How to balance the right amount of humor to inject into a conversation. Make too many jokes, you'll come across try hard. Too few, and you won't be funny. The secret technique stand-up comedians use when a joke doesn't land to save you from ever bombing. Why safe isn't sexy, and how to push the limits of propriety without becoming offensive. How to use whatever's going on around you as an endless source of comedy. Believe me, once you know this, you'll never be at a loss for words. And much, much more. This is just a quick sampling. So now you need to ask yourself, is this program for me? If it is, then great. If not, that's okay too. I know this program isn't for everyone, and only you can decide. It's designed for a very specific type of guy. First off, here's who it isn't for. 1. Guys who are completely happy with their dating lives. If you can already make women laugh reliably in a way that sparks massive attraction, even when you're not feeling on, if you're already satisfied with the quality and quantity of women you're currently dating, and are confident that you can attract the kind of girl you really want when you meet her, then this program probably isn't for you. 2. Guys who are expecting instant results. Though this program is designed to give you tools and techniques that will get you results very quickly, it'll probably take more than a few days to really master it. If you're not ready for that and just want a quick fix to your problems, then this program probably isn't for you. Number 3, guys who aren't open to taking a chance and learning. This program involves a lot of experiential learning. In other words, you'll learn by doing. If you're the kind of guy who needs to understand everything in his head before he uses it, then this program is probably not for you. On the other hand, if you're not satisfied with settling for your current situation with women forever, if you're willing to invest just 1 or 2 hours a week in learning this, and you're willing to take a chance and try some things you've never tried before, then I highly recommend you give this program a try. So right now you're probably asking the question, what's it going to cost? I'll get to that in just a second, but before I do, let's start with a better question. What is the value of a program like this? What's it worth to you to know that you'll never be at a loss for words, you'll be able to attract more and better quality women to date and sleep with, you'll have the power to make women feel amazing whenever they see you, you'll get more respect from your friends, colleagues, and family, and you'll finally have choice and control over your dating life instead of settling for whatever might happen to fall into your lap. Back when I was struggling with women, I would have spent anything to get this down. In fact, the amount I spent on research learning this for myself is well above $10,000, and it still took me years. As a training program, this information is worth thousands of dollars, no question. If I was offering it as a live training, I'd be charging at least $2,000 for it, probably more. Similar programs I've coached in the past have gone for up to $2,500. But because I'm able to offer this program in an online home study format, I'm going to make this program available to you at a price that's ridiculously low. Because back when I was struggling to learn this stuff, I made a decision. I promised myself, if I ever get the chance to help guys with this area of their lives, I'm going to make sure it's available to as many men as possible. So you're not going to pay $2,000. You're not going to pay $1,500. You're not even going to pay $1,400 or $1,350. You're not even going to pay half that. You're going to get the entire program, the videos, the audio, and everything for just $97. To register for the High Status Humor Training, just hit the button below and fill in your order information. As soon as you complete your registration, you'll be emailed with your login and password to access the training area and get started. Your privacy is 100% guaranteed, and your personal information is fully protected using secure SSL encryption. And by the way, if you're still on the fence about whether or not this is something you want to invest in, you don't have to decide today. You can give it a try with zero risk for 60 days. Get started today, and within 60 days, if at any time you decide that it's not for you, just email customer support and your money will be immediately refunded. No problems, no hassles. Because I'm so confident that this program is going to change your life, it's a risk I'm willing to take. Just to warn you, this program will not be available forever. As much as I want to help as many men as possible, I don't want to limit the competitive advantage it's going to give to the guys who take action on it immediately. That's why, as I mentioned at the beginning, this offer will only be available to a handful of men in each region. If you pass on it today, your spot will be given to another guy in your region, and you may miss out on it forever. So now you have a choice. You can decide that this program isn't for you and continue to settle for the quantity and quality of women you've gotten before. You can spend the next few years trying to figure this all out by yourself, or you can let me help you. The choice is yours. By the way, this program was filmed live in front of a small group of students. Here's what they had to say about their experience.
It's life-changing, for real.
It's a lot of fun. It's really a structured.
It's amazing.
Definitely worth it.
You're enjoying it, she's enjoying it, she'll want to hang out with you more.
Revolutionizes what you do, how you think. It changes everything. I would totally not recommend this. This is a terrible program. No, it's awesome.
Help lead her along into having a great time.
Within 2 or 3 days, I was suddenly, having the best dates I've ever had on my life. Any guy who takes this, you are going to be at such an advantage over every other guy out there.
So what are you waiting for? Click the button below and you can have access to this exclusive training immediately. You literally have nothing to lose. I look forward to seeing you in the members area. Click the button below to get started.